Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. I'm Stephanie Fisher. I'm a licensed counselor here in the state of Michigan, and I am owner and operator of In Progress Counseling. Last week we had a bit of a discussion around things that are problems versus things that are problematic. Today we're going to take similar language, but we're going to develop it differently. And we're going to wonder about, what if I'm having anxiety and I'm not actually sure what the problem is? And the reason this comes to mind as a video is because living inside of my chest right now is big wells of anxiety where I can feel like throat constriction. I can feel kind of my heart is fluttering. I can feel tears like right behind my eyes. And what's interesting is there's not a catalyst for it. And so often we can ask ourselves when we're having sensations around dis-ease or sensations that are anxiety affected, what we can ask ourselves is, hey, what might be going on here? Because sometimes it's not a specific problem that's the catalyst. It's just maybe a intersection of many things, or it's just where we happen to be. So as I'm going through, hey, what might be a contributing factor? It's like, well, there are a lot of moving pieces right now. If you're following along at the podcast at all, which is Healing Through Pain, I'm talking in there about some shifts that are coming to my clinical practice over the next month here. So both a geographic shift and shifting the model to hopefully bring in some interns. So it's like, well, that in and of itself is new terrain. Possibly I have some anticipatory fear going on there because that is going to be a big stretch in a new direction, which means unfamiliar, which might mean I'm feeling unsettled by it. Saying goodbye to this office. Maybe it's anticipatory grief of closing that door that really bums me out because 2 doors down is a woman I value and love, and 3 doors down is a woman that helped me transition into this space, 2 people that I love working alongside. So to relocate, there's a cost to that. That feels hard. So maybe that's just accelerating some of the chest constriction and the sensations of anxiety. But also, in a couple weeks, I have comprehensive exams coming up. So possibly as I'm trying to get my my systems in place for that, there's some grief, or there's some fear, or there's some uncertainty, or there's just some growing pains that are happening. That's possible. We're also only a few weeks into fall. Fall is a transition season, so there's a lot of moving pieces. So perhaps there's overwhelm as there's teaching going on and there's being a student going on. I also, this last week, had a ministry that I love almost completely disband, and so it's possible that there's just grief going on right now. There's way too many things that might be contributing, one of which is I've been dipping my toe back in the water of social media, and I've been off it for a year, and there are some high, I would say, emotionally fueled stories that keep hitting my nervous system, and so I'm like, well, maybe I step back from that again, because it's just not something that I've really had to metabolize over the last year, and recently that's a new thing that I'm metabolizing again. So a lot of things can explain it. But the question is, when I don't know what the cause is, I can't necessarily track down the solution to stop the anxiety. But what I can do is I can deal with the reality that right now there's anxiety present in my body. So it's like, what do I want to do with the understanding that there's anxiety running? I might not know what it's about. I might have to give it time to let my understanding develop, which is very common, and that's okay. But what do I do with the understanding that it's in my physiology right now? One of the things I love is movement. So it's like, if I'm feeling this, I probably need to be moving my body. Now, also, we are in Michigan right now, and Michigan is gracing us with some 70 and 80 degree weather. Last week it was in the 60s. So it's like, okay, if I know physiologically I'm feeling some type of way right now, perhaps sunlight and fresh air and movement together address to a degree some of the intensity that's been building. That's a good thing for me to be doing. Talking through it, even the idea of putting my ideas out here right now to say, well, I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm committed to dealing with the fact that it's here. That's me processing the reality of what's going on. That's another way to give it life, to help it move its way through my system. So talking about it can be really, really helpful. I can also, if my brain is feeling disorganized, I can create lists. I can give myself pathways and next steps. There are things I can be doing, not to get rid of the anxiety, but to deal with the reality that it's here. Sometimes we don't know what the contributing factors are. Sometimes it's just a pervasive sense of dis-ease. If we go into generalized anxiety as a diagnosis lives so much in our sensations. And so it's this pervasive sense of, man, something's off. What we're bringing in here today is if I don't know the catalyst, it doesn't mean I can't do anything about the reality that it's here. So moving my body, talking to someone, fresh air, sunlight, journaling, organizing my thoughts, maybe some devotion and meditation, prayer, finding something that I enjoy. There's a lot of things I can do as maybe my brain and my physiology is a touch gridlocked right now. I don't have to worry that that's going on. I'm just aware that that's going on. I don't have to find the cause. I'm understanding there may be many contributing factors. And the question is, what do I do when I pinpoint, oof, that's what's going on for me right now? There's constriction, there's rapid heartbeat, there's some emotion. What do I do with that? Well, what are things that restore me? Those are the pieces I'm going to lean into, even if I don't understand what's causing the frustration right now.